This is Good Morning Mumbai, and you're with Rishi K.
Radio 1.
Aam Aadmi K Thames has a tweet, says, awesome, colourful, quote-unquote character right after Holi. Hats off to HCL Learning for giving him a new lease to restart his life. That must have been difficult, getting out of Bokaro jail for no fault of yours getting in the first place, going through this entire turmoil, and then coming out and facing a kind of a stigma. So how did the new job happen? Talk about that.
So I think HCL has been a fabulous organization. They've been very, very open and receptive to taking me on board. But even they, and I can't fault them for it. Anybody would, did say that they'll only be able to hire me once the legal proceedings against me were dropped.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because if it was still a court, if I'm still in under trial, then nobody's going to touch you with a barge pole. The good thing is that I came out on the 23rd of Jan, and the case itself was quashed on the 5th of March, which is good, but which is also a little frustrating for me, because what the court basically said was that there was never a case to start with. There was never an intent to commit crime. So which means that that month of my life which was taken away was basically for no reason whatsoever. But once the case had been dropped, then HCL moved pretty fast, and the case was dropped, like I said, in March, and in April I joined them. So they were awesome in that respect. And
but my friend, look what the jail gave you, this book.
Well, so when you talk to some of my American friends, I lived for a few years in Chicago. Like one of the names could have been Chicago to Bokaro. All of them say you made lemonade out of lemons. So that's a standard Americanism which gets thrown at me once in a while now.
Running. That's something that really helped you keep your sanity. And are you a full marathoner, half marathoner?
Full.
And I believe the wife runs with you. How cool is that? Yeah?
Yes, yeah. We always run together.
So talk about this. I mean, you were pretty much in that ward, which is the hospital ward, from 6:30 in the morning till 4:30 in the afternoon. And after 4:30, you're again locked up in Bokaro jail.
Right.
So how do you manage the running? Did you get enough of a free stretch to run straight? Or were you running loops or what? Yeah.
No. I mean, jail is a small constrained space. So first I was really afraid, and the first day I thought, and I was afraid of who I would meet, what would happen to me. So I stayed inside the little boundary of the hospital ward, which was really tiny. It was like a 15-second. And after a couple of days, I also got a little more confident. I figured that if somebody were to take some pangas, now I knew the superintendent, my dad had arrived, so I thought I'd be able to handle it. So I ventured out, and I ran the biggest loop that I could run inside. One day I tried running next to the wall, but then the cops told me that you don't want to go there because you might get shot. So I decided against that one. And so I would run inside the biggest loop I could do inside the jail, which at my pace was all of 70 seconds. And the longest distance I ran was 20 kilometers, which means about 107 loops of 70 seconds each. So for a runner, it can be pretty frustrating to have just this whole limited space. But I was just grateful that I could run at all. So the first thing that I asked my brother to get was a notebook and pen, and the second thing I asked him for was my running shoes and my running gear. I was informal. I had gone for business work, so I was like in leather shoes and all of that stuff.
Correct. And eventually, when you got out, you must have respected the road and the straight route even more, man. You must have been like a bird in Jonathan Livingston Seagull.
Absolutely. It's just, I mean, you appreciate everything in life so much. You can go into a restaurant and order something. That's a privilege, because otherwise you're given a scrap in a plate and you eat it and take it or leave it. Basically, that's how it is. So.
And you were getting the better crap. Considering you were in one of the high-profile wards, so to say.
So you could be at 5% or 10%. You don't come close to 90 or 100.
Daft Punk, Get Lucky, 9:33. Pictures of Chetan Mahajan are already up at HRISHIKAY on Twitter and Facebook.com/HRISHIKAY on Facebook. There's also a Radio 1 Mumbai page. One space, your comment, a question, and name to 53650, or use those social networking platforms to comment or ask questions.